Even if it's one person, it's actually a very, very simple act of being patriotic to your nation. So that's
And I also want to add something. You don't have to spend billions.
Yes.
Or start constructing roads or anything, or building statuses of governors, or past leaders of the country before you know that you are a patriotic citizen. Just from simple things.
Yes.
From simple things. You can change somebody's life.
Yes,
you never
yes.
know from simple things.
Because those women that day, they were very happy.
Yes.
I think the government even gave him an award, and I think he got a lot of opportunities from just that little act of kindness, that little act of concern for those women out there. So that alone can really take you places.
Yeah.
Without even, and he didn't even spend a dime. It was the government that provided, that funded the whole thing. But he had the idea. The idea was his own, but the funding was from the government. So that alone really took him a lot of places.
Yes.
Yeah.
And most people, they do it because they want to get a reward at the end.
Yeah.
But that's not the real spirit. That's not the objective. That's not how it's supposed to be. When you want to be patriotic, you do it from your heart.
Yeah.
You don't do it because you want to get something in return.
Yes.
So even though you don't get a reward at the end, you are doing it because you are helping a fellow Nigerian. You're helping a fellow human being.
Helping one Nigerian is like helping the whole Nigeria.
Yes. So that's
basically. So yeah.
Thank you. Patriotism, from what you both had said right now, I could pick the word selflessness.
Yes.
Kind of like giving out your all for nothing, not expecting anything.
Yes.
That's a good one. And to add to what you are trying to bring up, talking about patriotism, there is one particular program that is coming up, that is ongoing at the moment, which is a collaboration of the Lagos State Government, Ministry of Health per se, and the NYSC, whereby corpers are kind of like asked to enlist to help in the polio vaccination stuff. And a lot of corpers are into it. You know, sometimes when I pass through the streets of Ikeja and along, you see corpers, some on their khaki, some without, carrying this polio vaccination stuff and going from house to house. It's kind of like, it shows selflessness, especially as we are serving. It's not just serving in each other's PPA, it's also coming out to the community where we are serving and making an impact, helping out. That is great. That's wonderful. Thank you. Right now, our dear viewers, we will go on a short break. When we come back, we will continue on the topic. Stay tuned.
We wear the khaki, but we carry more than just a bag. We carry dreams, grit, and a will to serve.
This is Corpuscan, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing on how the new Nigerian youth can be purposeful, productive, and proud. Continuing the discussion, you know, in our country, Nigeria, where everybody is hustling and trying to survive, collaboration or teamwork is always taking the back seat. So I'd like to ask, how does shared values and teamwork help unite Nigerian youth? I would like to hear from you, Kachi.
Okay. So from the question you asked, you said, how does shared values and teamwork help unite Nigerian youth, right? Basically, teamwork helps the dream work. So apparently, I believe that once youths come together and they stand by, okay, this is actually how things are meant to be, and they agree upon themselves, let's work together as young people. Because apparently in NYSC, you go there, you meet different people, different personalities, different tribes or ethnic groups. So apparently I believe that from that experience alone, you should actually have that mindset of, I can work with anyone. I should be able to adjust with anyone's belief and their values. Because obviously I'm Igbo. The same values I have in Igbo as an Igbo person will be different from someone that is Yoruba or someone that is from Itesekiri. So apparently, once you get into that space, you should be able to adjust and not just be someone that dominates, that wants to be like at the helm of affairs. You'll be like, okay, since I am Igbo, I feel like I should dominate this particular crowd. I believe that whatever I say stands or whatever values I have should be what should be in
place.
place or in practice. But it should not be like that. It should be a thing of, I'm Igbo, I'm a table. You feel the people from different ethnic groups like, okay, I'm here, Yoruba person's here, some from Fulani, some from Hausa, some from, Yoruba, like that. As I were together, I'm like, okay, drop down your opinions, drop down what you think we should do.
We pick up ideas.
Yes, we share our ideas, we put it down together, and then that's teamwork. That's basically teamwork. Teamwork is basically you being able to understand and accept people's ideas and opinions and views. Do you get? So I believe that once people come to terms with, I am not the only person in the room. There are people there that are also there to share their opinions. Once people have that in mind, that they're not the ones that should, be the dominating presence, teamwork will definitely fall in place. So I believe that as you're a human being, you should be able to understand people and also adapt and be able to take people's opinions and views to heart, and not just take it as something that is shallow and something that is not, is less important. Everyone is important. So that's basically that.
Thank
Do you have anything to add?
Yes, I have a little thing to add.
Yeah.
What I want to say is, I think tribalism that is kind of creating that barrier for teamwork in Nigeria among Nigerian youths. Tribalism.
Basically, as I said,
yes.
Once you think that you're the dominating lead,
yes,
it's hard for you to accept people for what they are and what they truly believe.
yes.
Yeah.
So just change that mindset. Nigeria has over 250 more than cultures, and they are so beautiful cultures.
Yeah.
So we should, like you said, adjust. We should all try to learn each other's cultures. It's a good thing. We should all learn to accommodate people. Yes, accommodate cultures, because Nigerian cultures are it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And teamwork, everything will just be fine.
Yes.
That's what I have.
Thank you so much. That was a nice one from both of you. From what you portrayed out, I was able to take adaptability.
Yes.
I see it as a keyword there.
Yeah.
You should at least be able to adapt to every situation. You can't be just a Southeasterner from Nigeria and then the kind of lifestyle, the growth, the livelihood you are used to in the Southeast. When you come up to Lagos or maybe Abuja, another part of the country, you kind of abhor or look down on other people's cultures, values, and way of life. So I believe adaptability is the keyword there. But moving on to the last question on my table, I would like to know, as Nigerians, we all want to make it, but we also talk about purpose and impact. So I'd like to know, how do you personally balance chasing your goals with helping to build a better Nigeria for all of us?
You can chase your goals, quite all right. But when you get there, or when you feel you have gotten there, you also have to involve other people. That way, you're also helping. I mean, you have achieved your goal, and right now, you want to accommodate other people in what you are doing. So you can become an employer of labor, yes. And you have involved other Nigerians, you understand? So this way, you chased your goal, you got what you wanted, and now that you have made it, you are employing someone else. You are giving that person something to do.
Being an employer.
Being an employer, and the person now your employee.
Okay,
yes.
Kachi, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, to add to what she said, I believe that once you have already established yourself, a point will come when, as she said, you will now be able to give people employment. As well, this topic has been centered on lazy Nigerian youths in quotes. But once you're there and I can be able to help and give a lending hand by giving people employment, by releasing work loads to people, they get occupied, which gives that sense of we don't really have lazy Nigerian youths again. People are now occupied, people are now busy because you have created employment for people. So that's basically all.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, these are all nice points, but all in all, one might be wondering, you are a lazy youth and you are growing. How do you grow? How do you create employment? The only advice I have for our dear viewers and fellow core members out there is that don't just depend on what is available. Seek help, find support, take loans that you can pay, and have ideas, think more, build yourself. In building yourself, you're building this country.
This is Corporskin, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Onyekachi. Today's conversation reminds us that the new Nigerian youth is not waiting for opportunities. We are creating them, we are focused, we are driven, and we are proudly building the Nigeria we want to see. I am Madu Dennis Uchichukwu, and this has been Corperscan on the Achievement Channel. Until next time, Corperscan and Corpersville. Thank you.
This is Corporskin, rising to serve, rising to lead.
What is your name?
My name is Ngozi Ochuba. I'm a pharmacist by profession.
Okay, so how has Achievement Channel inspired you in the past year?
Thank you. I actually came to Achievement Channel as a panel in Inspire Her. So I came the first time. I just thought it was like, let me just come and see what it's all about and see what I can offer too. But going on after the first episode, it made me go back, to reassess, rethink, and I saw it was really something noble, because through this platform, I see myself also being able to proffer solutions to the problems, everyday problems we see in our society, especially with women, because I'm on the Inspire Her panel. So, the everyday problem women face, the challenges women face, and how to add value not only to yourself, but to the society in general. And you now understand that you can make change from wherever you are. You start from where you are, with the resources you are, and the ripple effects over time, it's there.
Hello, ma'am. What's your name?
My name is Gwen Abiola Oloke.
When you think of the word achievement, what comes to mind?
Well, first of all, there must be tangible results. There must be growth. There must be impact on others. And there must be sustainability. So in other words, you can replicate that same event, and positive impact on others.
My name is Esther Budage.
What impact has Achievement Channel had in the past 1 year?
Well, Achievement Channel has done so well. It's an inspirational channel, a motivational channel, and also an educational channel. So a lot of people are happy with the channel because there's so much to learn on the channel. And talking about speaking up and confidence, the channel is doing so well there because from what we do in Achievement Channel, a lot of people are now beginning to have more confidence and they can now speak with clarity. And that's very good. Also in the area of women taking leads in their businesses, women are now beginning to take hold of their businesses and also doing well for themselves. So the channel is doing so well and I'm proud of the channel. Thank you.
So your name?
Hi, good evening. My name is Ayodele Oluwole.
When you think of Achievement Channel, could you describe it in one sentence?
One sentence, I would say our Achievement Channel, we see possibilities. It's a place for possibilities to be seen. Because if you look at what we're trying to do on the Achievement Channel, we're trying to bring in achievers. We're trying to highlight, some of those basic principles that they applied that has helped them to be where they are today. So it is seeing possibility in people, seeing, identifying potentials, seeing how people have been able to maximize their potentials and, make the best use of it. So it is a very good channel to watch. Thank you.
My name is John Ewudagi.
How do you see Achievement Channel growing in the next 1 year?
I see them achieving very great achievements, greater heights, because they have started a very solid foundation. And with what they have been able to do in 1 year, I believe they can build on that and achieve something maybe 4 times what they have achieved this year.
Ma, please, your name?
My name is Ambassador Mrs. Imelda Osuji, the founder of Women and Modesty Global Initiative, an NGO that kicks against indecent dressing and indecent acts in the society.
What does Achievement Channel mean to you personally?
Oh, it means a lot to me. We have many channels, but I picked interest in this because it is educational and it is informative. It is a channel that while watching it, you forget yourself. You know, you learn a lot from channels. Yeah.
Mafi, your name and what you do?
My name is Helen Onwa Odeleye. I'm a broadcaster, I'm a teacher, and what else? A media executive.
Okay, so what does Achievement Channel mean to you personally?
Achievement Channel for me is like everything put together that suggests success, that suggests progress, that suggests achievement, if I'm using that word again. And so if you're looking at achievement, it's like a very small word, but the channel has come on board to expand it. And it's come to say to us that the Achievement Channel is that channel that brings you the A, B, and C through the stories of several people for us to understand better in practice what success means in every facet of life, in every profession, in relationships, in humanity, and so many more. Thank you. Hi there, my name is Helen Omaodeleye, and I am so excited and proud to be associated with the Achievement Channel. Achievement Channel is everything that you would ever want in a television program, in content development, and you know, when you are looking for those things that you don't find everywhere that leads you to that path of success, self-actualization, and entertainment. Yeah, it's not only just talking, there's a lot of entertainment and a lot of excitement on the Achievement Channel. So please make sure that you're tuned to this channel on YouTube and on all the other platforms on a regular basis. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Anike Ade from Kid Treasure. I'm asking you to keep watching Achievement Channel, looking for a powerhouse for motivation, inspiration, warmth, and vavavoo. Achievement Channel. Keep watching.
My name is Ambassador Mrs. Imelda Osuji, the founder of Women and Modesty Global Initiative, an NGO that kicks against indecent dressing in Nigeria and the whole world. Keep watching Achievement Channel. Keep watching Achievement Channel. It is educational and informative.
Success is not just about what you do, but how you show up. Your style speaks before you do. Style is confidence, and confidence drives success. From the boardroom to the runway, your presence matters. Welcome to Style to Success, where fashion meets ambition. Your journey to success starts with confidence. This is Style to Success, only on the Achievement Channel. Follow us at Achievement Channel for more style and success insights.
Hello and welcome to Style to Success, the show where style meets strategy on the journey to professional excellence. I am your host, Ayodele Oluwole, and you're watching Style to Success on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence Studio right here in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. On this program, we celebrate bold, stylish, and visionary individuals who have transformed their passion for appearance, fashion, and self-expression into thriving careers and meaningful achievements. Today's guest is a dynamic professional with over a decade of experience in Nigeria's fast-moving consumer goods industry. A seasoned sales and route-to-market expert, she currently serves as the National Sales Manager at Unilever Nigeria PLC. Her name is Augusta Ihigebolo, a powerful voice in leadership, innovation and growth, with a bachelor's degree in economics and statistics from the University of Benin and a master's in general management from the University of Lagos. Augusta combines insight, presence, and professionalism to drive results, mentor teams, and build a personal brand that truly stands out. Augusta, you're welcome to Style to Success.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to have you on Style to Success.
My pleasure.
I mean, I understand how your schedule can be, but at least you made out time to come.
Yes.
And it's nice. And I'm sure a lot of people can't wait to hear your story and how your style has, inspired success. So I want to start with this. Let's talk about identity. Beyond the professional title.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your personal background and your journey.
Okay. So thank you once again, Olu, for having me here. It's my pleasure. From the personal side of things, I actually did not live my life in Lagos. I actually came to Lagos to, like we say, hustle. My entire background was in Benin City. I had my nursery, primary, secondary school, and then university from the Great University of Benin, where I studied economics and statistics. I'm actually the last child of my mom. I grew up in a, well, I call it a single home, right? My mom raised the three of us. Yeah, my dad was not around, but we see him once in a while. So I think growing up in Benin, those people who grew up in Benin can relate with the lifestyle and all the things that go around in Benin City. Benin City builds you up in a certain way. You become a certain way in terms of having courage, having strength. So that sort of formed the kind of individual that I became. So I think sometime in 2008, I went to do my NYC in Abuja, and my entire life was to work in a bank. I used to like bankers, the way they, deck up in their suits, move from place to place. But maybe I didn't understand the whole work that goes into that space. But I just, as I read economics and statistics, if I mentioned earlier, and my ambition was to become a banker. I got that opportunity in Skybank when I went to serve in Abuja. I did my NYC there for 1 full year, and I was in marketing, right? So somehow I achieved my dream. I don't think that the experiences there deterred me from not being a banker, but somehow, I think the financial crisis of 2009 affected me in not entering into the bank. If I look back today, I'm excited I didn't go into banking, right? So I stayed 1 year, and then I was looking for a job, in Lagos here. I don't know how it entered my head that shipping was another big thing. Wow. So I was looking for a company that does shipping. I wanted to work in Maersk. But I didn't get the opportunity. But I got the opportunity working in a company called IAL. We're into relocations and removal. So when we have expatriates coming into Nigeria and they want to bring their personal effects into Nigeria, we're responsible for ensuring those effects come safely and in good condition. And then if they wanted to also leave Nigeria to their home country, we also help them to pack their personal effects. So I did that. As I got there, I spent about a year as a sales executive, and then it entered my mind again and said, you are selling services, you don't see what you are selling. Why don't you look for a company where you can actually do sales and sell physical products? And so I saw an advert, I applied, I didn't know the company. And people who are in Lagos are very exposed, right? You know so many things. Like, I know you grew up in Lagos, so you can relate. You know so many things about career, about industries. But those of us who are coming from, if you don't have elder ones who have come into Lagos, who sort of expose you to what's happening in the industry or what's happening in the economy, you might be really blindsided in certain industries that you could play. So I didn't know about companies like Nestle or Unilever or PZ. I had no idea. But I just knew that I wanted to sell a product, a physical product. And so I saw the adverts for looking for salespeople, and then I applied, and then passed the test, did the interview, And then the second interview leg was when I now found out that it was Unilever, right? So I did the interview there, met with the sales director, and eventually got the job. You know, it was a stream, a sales stream. So they called us a sales army, like the first sales army. So we got into that job, and that's how I started my journey in sales, and then also in FMCG industry.
That's great. I think that highlights the fact that you follow your passion. I love the fact that you said you are happy that you didn't end up in banking. That, you know, it simply shows that, okay, you are now fulfilling your purpose. You are like fulfilling your passion.
Yeah.
And you know, it is it is imperative to, you know, have passion for whatever you're doing, which is one of those things that affect your overall productivity.
Absolutely.
So talking about passion, so let's talk about, you know, you chose the FMCG industry. So I want to know, how did you develop that strong passion for sales and strategy?
I won't say I developed it. I would say I stumbled into it. So if I go back to my desire to work in a bank, before we entered the bank, we used to hear how difficult being a marketer was, right? So most of us avoided, you know, that space. So if you were going to go in the bank, you wanted to be in operations, right? How I got into sales is, I can tell the story, quite short. When I got the opportunity to work in Skybank, right, I was posted to a branch, and in that branch, I was working in the operations where they do check, you know. So I sat down. It was like it's a back end department, right? Nobody sees you, you know. Sales marketing is quite front end, so people really respect such spaces. But operations is back end, so we're doing the check, and some ladies there were telling me that, why are you here now? That, don't you know that if you are here after you finish your NYC, people will not remember you. There's people who are in sales that they will actually remember to retain. Like you are just at the back end, nobody remember you. So I was like, it doesn't even matter. Let me just do my 1 year first. I mean, God can do anything, you know. But because we were coppers, they wanted us to open an account in the branch where we were working, and then send the account to the head office. But that day, I don't know what happened. My branch, their system was down, so I couldn't open the account. I'm like a young copper, and I needed money. And they said that if I didn't bring the account number, let's say maybe one particular day, like 3 p.m., they were going to send the names to Lagos, and my name would not be among the list. So I took permission from my branch, which was on Aminu Kano, if you know Abuja very well. And then I went to the head office in Gimbia. That was where the head office is. So as soon as I entered to talk with the guy who was sending the list, well, I can't remember the guy. I can remember his first name, but his name is, you know, he sat down, and as soon as I entered, he called me and said, come. Well, you know the one I interviewed about 2 weeks ago? I said, yes. And why are you now? Which particular branch are you? I told him. What unit are you in? I told him. He said, no. He said, you know, you have a very good aura. You have this confidence about you. Why will you be in operations? You will not shine. You will not shine. He just called another guy. Come, no, I want this girl. Change her. Let her go and meet this other person who is opening a new branch. She should go there and go and do sales. And that's how I was a bit scared. I was afraid. And, you know, but he told me you can do it. There's nothing there. I said, okay, let me just follow him. And that was the last day I went to that other branch. And I went to the new branch. And that's how I started working in sales. So I stumbled into sales, but I found out that sales is what we all do every day. Right now, we're all doing sales. We're selling ourselves. We're talking about different things. So my passion for it, coupled with the personality that I have, because I love to talk with people, I love to meet people, I love to socialize a lot. And that's how I just found myself in sales. And years down the line, I'm grateful for it.
Good one. It's good to hear that very inspiring story.
Yeah.
So, you know, you mentioned something like, the aura and everything. So I want to ask now, talking about your appearance, at what point did you, you know, realize that your appearance and your personal brand, you know, can really influence leadership success for you?
Yeah, I won't say I realized early, right? So I won't say I realized early. I think you get those moments as you go along the way. It's not something, there are some people that are very blessed. From the get-go, they know how to put themselves together, and then if they are blessed, they have the right economics to make sure everything adds up. But along the way is when I found out that you have to be dressed for the part, right? But this dressing is not just physical, right? Your dressing must start from your mind. You must understand who you are, and it's from translating who you are that you're able to express yourself when it comes to whether it's fashion, whether it's how you put your pieces together. Some of us dress to please others. I dress for comfort. I dress the way I feel, not necessarily because I want somebody else to see me and like me or say I like what you like. It's what makes me comfortable, and what I think will make me comfortable throughout the day is what I put on. So I think having a good dress sense, understanding that it's not necessarily about the, how will I say, it's not necessarily about maybe the what of what you are wearing. It's how you piece them together. It's how clean they look. It's how you have put everything, whether it's color-wise, whatever you have done, is actually selling you. That's the first thing that people see before you even start opening your mouth to talk. So I think it's very important. And I would say that it's something that I won't say I've just gotten that, I have it. No, it's something that I learn as I go along in my journey.
That's a good one. Good to hear that. So where do you see the intersection of style and confidence in, high performance workplaces like Unilever? I know I'm sure you know that confidence is vital when you are working in such a place. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's number one. I think confidence is number one. Not confidence in what you are putting on. And some people know how to style themselves, and that's just it. When you see them, they look good. But when it comes to delivering on the job, they're almost empty. So I think two of them have to go hand in hand. So if you are good on your job and you complement it on how you show up, then that works greatly for you. So you can't have one, and then leave the other, right? It has to be that it's something you are deliberate and intentional about, both on your performance and both on the way that you appear, the way people perceive you, So if you have confidence, fine. But there are other things that help you enhance confidence. So I give an example. Somebody is very confident, but he's going to a meeting and he comes in with a shirt that is not ironed. Somehow, even though you have confidence, that particular glitch that day will impact the way you present yourself. True. So you have to know where you are going to. You have to know who you are talking to. So there's a dress sense for every event. It's not like you can just tie Iro and Buba and go somewhere and you're having a proper meeting. It's not that you can't do it. That can even be a style in a sense. It can become your style. Some people can just define, and this is the style I want to be known. There was a guy in my office. Every time you see him, he was putting on, a complete, like what you are wearing now with cap, fully dressed. If that becomes your identity, then it's very good. And you have the confidence to carry it through. Fantastic. So it can help you define who you are. Everybody just knows that, oh, this is your signature. And, it has to be something that speaks for you and complements the confidence that you have.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So, I want to ask this because I read in your profile how important, self-development has been to you. So why is self-development, innovation, and entrepreneurship very important to you? And how has this impacted, your career path?
So three very important concepts. So self-development,
yes, innovation, entrepreneurship.
And entrepreneurship. So I, for one, believe that the greatest investment you can ever have is an investment in yourself. And that's where self-development comes into play, right? At every level, whatever took you to that level is not what will keep you on that level. So you have to continuously improve on who you are. Whether it's the way you talk, whether it's the way you deliver on your job, whether it's the way you dress, whether it's the way you express yourself in a meeting, it has to be continuous development. Because as we are now, we are told that the world is moving. We're just not moving with it, but it's moving. Like the earth, let me not say the word, the earth is moving, right? So that means everything is in constant movement. So if you stay, you don't stay in one place. If you stay in one place, you're not developing, you're not staying in one place. You're actually moving backwards because things are moving forward. So you can't say I'm in the same place, right? So self-development for me is critical if you really want to achieve your dreams. You know, you even have to sharpen on the values that you have every point in time. You have to redefine yourself in terms of what values define me, right? And those things come with self-development, right? You also mentioned innovation. Self-development has to be innovative, right? If you say you are going to develop yourself, the way you develop yourself changes with time. And the things you are developing yourself changes with time. So everybody now is speaking AI. That's innovation that you have to plug into it. But for you to plug into it, you are self-developing yourself. So those things go hand in hand. Innovation for me is trying to do things better. There's something I tell my kids every day. Live things better than you met it. So that it becomes a way that you live your life. You can't pass this place now. And somebody says, Augusta just passed this place. See how scattered the place is. Because I've just written my name on the. But if I pass here and I clean it up, they say somebody who passed here. I've left a very strong impression about myself. And that's what innovation is about. About adding value. About doing things better. You know, getting things done faster, more efficiently. You know, so innovation is very critical in the way I think. I don't like to think in a in a static way. I like to think in, okay, what can we do better? What can we do?
Think ahead.
Not necessarily think, just think differently. Like, okay, this thing now, is there a different way we can do it? You know, I like to surround myself also. I get very excited when I hear big things that people are doing. You know, when I was, the first time I became like a manager for other managers, as an area sales manager, right? I used to tell my team that, come on, Omo. They say people should go and sell Omo. You can't sell Omo. What about people who are opening people's head and removing blood clots? Those are big things. What are people are going to the moon? Those are mighty things. So when you think of what people are doing, you know, then you start seeing what you are doing as small compared to what they are doing, and you start challenging yourself. And that's why you have to self-develop. That's why you have to innovate. And then the last one is my very, and you know me, very extremely dear to my heart is entrepreneurship. Not all of us will be entrepreneurial, because entrepreneurship, I used to think it's anything business. If I sell this cup, you're an entrepreneur. You know, but I think in one of the classes that I had while doing my MBA, they redefined it as, you know, adding value to what you know. So you want to do this cup now. You can't just carry it and sell it. You have to add something on top of it. That's adding. That's you becoming entrepreneurial. So you see how innovation, entrepreneurship, self-development, all of them work hand in hand. So for me, it's good. Not everybody will be an entrepreneur, but you can be entrepreneurial even where you are working. So you can be thinking of what is the best way within a company that I can do something. What is bringing value to this company that I work for? What are the new things that we can do that can help us drive business growth? That way you are actually tuning your brain to think like an entrepreneur.
That's a good one. And I think that's a concept they call the intrapreneurship. Yeah. Yes, you know, practicing entrepreneurship in an organization.
Yes.
So it's a good one, Augusta. Thank you so much for sharing this insight. And viewers, we still have Augusta in the studio. We'll take this very short commercial break, and when we're back, we'll hear more from her. Please stay tuned.
Eloquence focuses attention on the message and the audience.
I found it very interesting and exciting.
It was very beneficial.
Definitely would learn a lot, a whole lot.
Thank you. The delivery was second to none.
Speak with power.
Speak with power.
Speak with power.
So you're welcome back. It has been a very nice session with Augusta, and we still have her on the show. Augusta, you're welcome back.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to take you straight into the next question, and this has to do with your personal values, your authentic self, and creativity. So I want to find out how do you maintain a personal style that aligns with your corporate role without losing authenticity or creativity?
Thank you, Olu. I think quite an interesting question. In my mind, the first thing is you have to define what your values are, right? So before you say you're authentic, what makes you authentic, right? If you don't understand that bit, then every other thing is just you are dancing around the circle. If I, as Augusta, does not know what I term as a value, so for me, having or being a very courageous person is a strong value for me. And when I say courageous, in the sense that if I go into a meeting and I have something to say, I will say it irrespective of the fear that I feel, or maybe I might mess somebody up or something. So that for me is a strong value. I also believe in having integrity. So that means if somebody wants me to do something that I do not feel will give me sleep at night, I will not do it. Once I've defined what makes me as an individual authentic, then every other thing I can build on top of it. So that means how I show up is, so I can choose. I'm coming today now. If I were to put on a suit, it will not be my authentic self, because on a regular you will not see me on a suit. You will see me dressed like this. This is my authentic self. This is how I want to show up. However, if I have, to your question, how do you match that to your corporate role? If I'm going for a board meeting, or if I'm going for something external, then I cannot necessarily dress like this. I have to sort of tune myself to the environment that I'm going to meet. So that's how you create that balance. Not necessarily losing yourself, but understanding the audience that you are going to be meeting in the event that you are going, and the role that you will also be playing in that event, right? So being a corporate professional does not stop you from being who you are, but it also makes you to know, who am I first, and how do I want to show up in that event, and what is necessary for me, what is required for me, as an individual. And once you can put those things together, it helps you to show up in your best self.
Oh, great one.
Yeah,
great one. And as a woman leading in a very competitive field,
highly competitive,
it can be a Herculean task. I
Yes.
perfectly understand that.
Yeah.
So for you, what are the challenges? What are those major challenges you have faced as a woman, operating in such a highly competitive field? And how has your presence, not just your performance, helped you to navigate these challenges?
Yeah, I think I've been blessed with the company that I work with. I don't think that in the company, in Unilever per se, we sort of create any dichotomy between, oh, you're a man or you're a woman. It's about performance, right? It's about what you bring to the table. So I've not worked in a lot of places, right? So I mentioned only 2 places before I worked in Unilever, and I've worked in Unilever now for about 14 years, right? The environment created in that place encourages you to bring your best self to work, irrespective of your gender, right? And most organizations talk about this gender equality, but not every organization practices it. I can say for Unilever, we practice it. So it's not about your gender, right? It's about what you bring to the table. And the organization creates an environment understanding who the woman is. I mentioned before that what I'm talking about, I have 3 kids, right? And I'll tell a very funny story. My first child, I think I had her in 2014, and I just come back from mat leave, right? So maternity leave was like 4 months, and then in the 11th month, so I just had a child, and then 11th months after, I found out I was pregnant again, right? And I wasn't thinking, in my mind, I was like, I just came back from mat leave, 4 months, and now I want to go for another one, maybe in 9 months' time. And I was, I was crying, I was feeling bad, and I said, who do I talk to? So I went to meet my line manager. I was like, why are you feeling bad? Something this good? No. He encouraged me, through the process. So that's the kind of organization that and nobody will make reference to that fact that, oh, this person just got back, oh, this person's rating should be like this in terms of performance. So it's about the environment that you work. Is it encouraging enough as a woman to help you thrive? I have been blessed to have that kind of environment. So it helps me to manage my home and also manage work and give my best, to those both sides of my life.
I think it's so good to hear this, having superiors that can motivate you, that can support you, that you can, that can give very good advice at such a point, and that is very important.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you that you're blessed to be in such, an environment that can encourage you to overcome some more challenges.
Yeah, but if you find that you are not in such a place, you have to choose your battles. What I mean by choosing your battle, as a human being, first of all, you are the machine that does the work. Now, if the machine does not work very well, that means the work cannot be done. So my point is that you prioritize yourself first. So as a woman, let me speak for myself, I don't know, but I know most women will always prioritize family over work, right? So if you are in a place where you are not given the opportunity to, my son has something to do, can I take just a few hours to do it and come back? Or my daughter has a prize giving day, and you're not in that environment that encourages you to play those roles as a woman, to get home early. Then you have to, how will I say, you have to wait. What is my priority, right? Is my priority about having enough money, or my priority about being there for my family? And it can be at a certain stage. Maybe you have younger children, so you have to now make those choices, right? So it's not everybody is best to have an environment or a workplace that helps you, manage those two sides of your life. But if you are not in that kind of environment, then you have to make a choice to say, what is priority for me right now, at this time of my life, at this stage of my career? Family, you will never get back the time that you lose. But career, you can manage. You can leave career now, come back in 2 years, 3 years. But every hour, every time you're missing your kids, you might never be able to get it back.
Good one. Right. Well done. Yeah. It's good to hear that. And this takes me to the next question. And I will be talking about mentors, basically. When you are in a career path, in a very distinct, career path, you have people you look up to.
Yeah.
Some of them are mentors. They can be, the same people in the workplace. It could be people that are working outside your territory. So what I want to say basically is, who are those people that you can consider as mentors? And that I'm sure in many ways looking up to them could have helped your leadership success. And what are those lessons, those specific lessons you've learned from them that has helped you to grow to where you are today?
It's a very tough question for me to answer, because really I struggle with mentorship, right? I struggle in looking up to one person to say, but at every point in my life, I've had people that I respected a lot, and I loved the way they had delivered on their job and who they are. So one of my bosses then, Nkechi Omozeji, that's her name. She was my first female regional manager, and she was my line manager. I love the way she led, with this, somebody leads you with love, still scolds you when you don't do the job, but is very interested in your growth, So that was one person at the beginning of my career that I really, really looked up to. As I grew, it's not necessarily any particular figure. Per time, it can be Oprah Winfrey. For me, just looking up. Sometimes it can be Michelle Obama. I don't say this person, no, I'm so fixated on what this person is doing. No, for me, it's about, I pick my mentors from books. I pick it from, maybe I go to somewhere, somebody talks about somebody, I go and check the person and see what they've achieved. And so this I find very inspiring. So that is one person I've loved in my career, to say, I like the way she had led. You know, she led very well, not taking away the empathy, but still doing the job. So that's something I keep reflecting, to say, as a leader today, yes, you can still do the job and you can still show care to your people that you are working with. So I would not necessarily have people and names to call, but per time it can be anybody that I just look up to.
Good one. You've mentioned the points, and at least you've answered the question in a very good way, because at least one or two ways you picked one or two things from them, which has really helped you to grow.
For me, it's about people who are doing great things, actually.
Yes.
People who are changing the world. I don't know if I can change the world, but I just know that some people are doing and sometimes they can be very silent. You might not know them. You can just stumble on them and you hear their story and you say, wow, so somebody is doing something this impactful, you know. So those are the kind of people that really, you know, sometimes I can even get excited by a priest. You know, somebody who is just, I'm living my life for this purpose, and nothing can shake me away from it. Those are the kind of things that inspire me. Maybe not something I can achieve personally, but I love looking at people who achieve such great things.
So how do you balance, you know, fast-paced demands of national sales management with self-expression and wellness?
Okay. So anybody who does sales will know how high pressure it is. And like you said, very, very fast-paced, in the sense that every day comes with its own challenge. So it's almost like you are putting fires every day, right? So for us in sales, you say, I've delivered September, but Q4 is here. So the next day, 1st of October, you're already chasing something in October, right? And you cannot, it's a job that you cannot, being in sales, you can't go home and just be sleeping carelessly. It follows you into your dreams. You are just thinking, how do I meet the numbers? So it's highly pressured, very fast paced. But how I got, I don't want to call it like a light bulb moment, no. Sometime in 2019, I experienced something that actually, you know, jerked me out of, you know, fully immersing yourself in a job with your emotions and everything, that it then starts affecting your health, right? So that's why wellness, when you are doing any job, you have to be able to separate your emotions from the job. That at the point where you are doing the job, you give your all, but when you step back to relax, you have to actually relax, because if not, like I mentioned, you are the machine. If the machine is not working properly, you will never bring your best self, and you will never bring the best performance that the company deserves, right? So for me, it's about giving my best while I'm there. But if I have a time to relax and spend time with the people that I love, or do the things that I love, I also give my all to that time, right? I'm still struggling on it. I'm not saying I'm there. Sometimes I'm at home and I'm working. It's not something I would like to leave the office and come home and just chill, right? So I think that we have to be very intentional in that space. What I do is that I don't do everything myself. So you might not find me that during the day, or let me say during the week, I'm the one sweeping my house and cleaning. So I have some things I have contracted out. So if God blesses you and you have the means, you can get a driver. So by the time you're inside the car, you are resting your brain. You have people that clean your house, so that you don't overstretch yourself, because you're not superwoman. So the things that I can get other people to do for me, I make sure that I get those people to do it for me, so that I have enough time for myself. That's how I create that balance. Also, we talk about healthy eating, exercising. I try to infuse it in my busy schedule. You know, take a walk. You know, listen to things that excite you. Music. I'm not a TV person. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I read books, I listen to music, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and those things just give me that balance that I require. So in a very high pressure day, once I'm done, when I come home, I know, okay, this thing will not kill me. You know, it won't kill me. Let me just, tomorrow again, we'll pick it up. So it's about mindset that you have, you know, knowing that if anything happens to you, the job will move. So you first are priority. Focus on that priority, and then every other thing will follow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so good to hear this. And I think what you're trying to highlight is it is very important to, take your wellness. You shouldn't take it with levity, basically. At least you should deliver at your job and still make sure that you are in a very good state of mind, because it is very, very important. Thank you so much, Augusta. So I will ask you this last question, but not least, and it has to do with advice. What we're trying to do is to inspire the young generations to come. So what advice have you for young professionals, especially women who want to match their personal style with a very huge career growth?
Okay. So I'm just trying to take my time to respond. So I might not speak to everybody, but I think the first thing is to set your mind on where you want to go, right? And then when you set your mind on where you want to go, then you now define, how do I get there? And then every day you are doing something, you are asking yourself, what I'm doing now, does it take me to where I want to go? Not everybody will aspire to lead companies. Not everybody will aspire to own businesses. Some people, and I'm saying in my next life, I just want to be a housewife. I'll just chill. One is to iron clothes and to take children to school. It's very fine, but you have to define who do I want to be? How do I want to get there? And then every day you are saying, this thing I'm doing now, does it take me to that place? Right? Because if you don't have that sense of clarity, you might be doing so many things, and eventually you see you have born 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you say, I've just missed, I missed this thing because I didn't know. So I think it's good for young people, especially for women, to define very clearly, what's that thing? What's my North Star? Where am I going to? Once you have that clarity, then you start defining, okay, what values will I carry as I go along? So that every wind will not pull you, right? Because you can say, I want to be the MD of a company, but you don't have values that are defined, and then somebody tells you, come and do this, so that you become this, or come and do that. Because your values are not defined, they can pull you everywhere. So be clear on your destination, be clear on how you will get there, be clear on the things that you require, the tools that will be in your toolbox that will help you as you navigate that journey, right? And give yourself some, breather. Don't put yourself under too much pressure, right? Life is not, if I knew some of the things that I know now, some of the things I did I wouldn't have even, Then pick up skills, right? It's very important for women to have very diverse skills. Don't be too singular or one way in the kind of skills that you have. It can be different things, hand skill, brain skill, anything. Just have different things that can help you build your economy, right? If you have those things, and remember that you're not alone on the journey, get a lot of people to support you. Don't do it in isolation. Don't do it alone. Get people, family members, friends, let them join you on the journey. You can't make it on your own, right? Because you have so many things. A woman has 1 million jobs, but the men, you people cannot relate to it, but a woman is always thinking of so many things at the same time. So if you are the one that wants to do everything, then you will break down, right? But if you have people who are, journeying with you, then the load becomes a bit lighter. So those are the few things that I would say. They are basic things. The thing is that we don't do basic things. There are things that takes you just a few days. You can clearly say, this is what I want to do. They are basic, but just that we don't do basic things. When you do the basic things, set the foundation, then you can rise from there.
Thank you so much, Augusta. So it is important for young professionals to have clearly defined purpose, which will, inform the path that they will tread in life.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Augusta, and it's been an amazing session with you. Thanks for making our time to come to Start Success.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it.
Hey, this is Habiba Balogun, Chair of the 11th Champions of Talent Development Conference by Learning and Development Network. Shout out to who? The Achievement Channel.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tayo Oluwole, and I want to say
a special shout out to the Achievement Talent. You guys are doing great thing, and you are really, really inspiring us with most of the content you are churning out. And I am proud to even say that you are our partner in progress with some of the things you are turning out. Thank you very much.
Augusta, it's been such a pleasure having you on Start to Success. Your story is a reminder that leadership isn't just about what you know or what you do. It is about how you show up. Thank you for inspiring us. And to you watching at home, remember this: how you carry yourself can just be as powerful as what you carry on your CV. Style isn't just surface, it is strategy. Thank you for joining us on Start Success here on the Achievement Channel. Let's continue this important conversation. Follow at the Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more Start Success updates. Use the hashtag we see possibilities and share your thought with us. I am Ayodele Oluwole, and see you next time.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Welcome to Teachers World, where we celebrate the heroes of education. Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Teachers World. I'm your host, David Obianyo. Today, we have a special guest who is making Nigeria and all of Africa proud. She was recently named the best teacher in Africa by the African Union. But more than the awards, she is known for her hard helping girls, supporting students with disabilities, and teaching us all how to live in peace. Please welcome the amazing Adeola Adefemi.
Join us on Teachers World.
Trust me when I say she's a superstar. It's good to have you here.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so I have it on good authority that you're not just in the classroom, and that brings us to our topic, teaching beyond the classroom and helping every child succeed. You're also into peace, and that's where your peace podcasting comes into play. So with that, I'm going to ask you, how does this help children in terms of bullying and tension in the classroom?
I like this particular question because I've been asked so many times that why peace podcasting? Why don't you go for symposia, workshops, have conversations with teachers, adults taking over? But the thing about young people, children, they find it easy to work with things that are interactive. And when it has to do with student to students, it's interactive. But when it comes to adults, they see it as a lecture, so they're not always very forthcoming. And we know when it comes to our society, forget about bullying, let's look at it from conflict side. It is a thing of we're all different and our diversity is very fine. Now, for every classroom, we're a reflection of who we are as a society. We can see this in our classrooms. Our students are coming with their diverse, lived experiences. They're coming with their trauma, and they're all different. And we're always very quick to label the students, oh, this annoying boy, this Yoruba girl, this Igbo boy. So we tend to give them these labels. But when it comes to peace podcasting, the students tell their stories. Albeit it's, however, it's very, very discreet. We make sure not everybody can be seen because they're not comfortable. It's about traumatic things. The truth about the issue is that with this podcast, we can remove the labels and replace them with stories. So you are listening to these kids, you are listening to their stories, they're telling their true stories. So you take away the labels, the unserious boy, the annoying girl, and see human being with real stories, with real problems. And from there, the bullying stops because they get to put themselves in the position of those that are telling those stories. So that's one thing it helps. And it helps with, and another thing it helps me with is empathy.
Empathy, I was going to say that.
Yes, it's deep for the students when they talk about their stories. It's deeper for even the adults around. And when you're talking about things you've experienced as a child in your society, in your community, or you're experiencing right in the classroom, everybody, at that point, people want to empathize with you. Like, they're not looking at it from the angle of, okay, maybe because he's unique in his way, this is his attitude, this is a me problem, or this is a person problem. This time around, you're seeing yourself in these individuals when they tell the stories. And I think the most important one for me, it gives everybody a nuanced understanding of our differences. You know, we are all different. I mean, different in everything. But when the students tell their stories, you get to understand that being quiet doesn't mean arrogance. Being we're quick to label these kids when we're in class, you're teaching, and it's a particular quiet child in your class, and you feel, oh, maybe he's quiet because he doesn't want to talk, because he's rude, is this, is that. I'll give you a very good example. Just recently, one of the schools I'm working with, there was a particular student that was reported, and everybody labeled him as rude. And I kept asking them, what is it about this boy that you see as rude? Now, the problem, before the boy started talking about his issues, I mean, during the podcast, was they felt that, okay, after every offense, you need to apologize by prostrating. I mean, this is a Yoruba culture, and yes, it's in the Yoruba community, but this child is not Yoruba. This child is from the north, and he doesn't see things like that. Before he can apologize to you, he has to feel wronged, or feel that he wasn't wrong. Yeah. Or he was wronged. And it was, the teachers expected him to just apologize, because the other people that offended alongside apologized by prostrating, and the boy didn't. And everybody labeled him as rude. And before we could say Jack Robinson, his name was placed in the black book. And I kept asking, have you asked questions? Before the boy joined, that was the first thing I said, have you asked questions? Have you gotten to know what is wrong, why he did that? Because this is a very brilliant boy. He's represented your school in different competitions. And now you're labeling this boy, and probably you may even ruin his future because you've labeled him as rude and you've placed his name or put his name in the black book. And at the end of the day, the boy was told to write a letter, which he did, and he explained himself that where he comes from, you have to ask questions before you can apologize, because apology for him is deeper than just surface level. And at the end of the day, the teachers were impressed because the letter was very deep. Even before the boy started talking, the letter was to every teacher that was there during the issue. So at the situation, at the end of they had a change of mind. If I'd not been there, I'm probably sure that boy's name will remain in the black book. So sometimes I think it just gives you a nuanced understanding of our differences, of our diversity, and it's coming from the angle or from the lens of a child. Okay. So also, I think the most important thing is it gives them a voice. The visibility gives them the voice. Like, there's some people that are very quiet. They really do not like talking, not because they don't want to talk, but because they're too shy to talk.
And now, that voice increases their confidence.
I think that's the most important one. One of our students, also from the north, don't know a Nigerian. She had the same issue too for a long time. She would never say anything. And now for the Peace podcast, and it's not just about English. We're not talking about English. You can say it in your language, and there will be someone there to translate. So you can do it in Hausa. We usually do Pidgin, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo sometimes, because we don't have an interpreter for the Igbo. So we do more for Pidgin. But now we have words. Yes.
That's a podcast I would have loved to be a part of, trust me. It's something I can already relate to, thinking about it. And something you said is the fact that the classroom is like a microcosm of the society, how diverse we are. And as a teacher, if you can handle what goes on in your school and in your classroom, it speaks more about your character.
Most definitely.
Well, I've always told you I like the way you speak, the way you sound, and it's so good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So, you've worked in various schools in the public sector, and I can imagine, as a teacher myself, I have been in the private sector, and I know the discrepancies between the public and the private. So, for teachers who are working with children with disabilities, with limited resources, how do you think you can speak to them to help handle the situation better with children with disabilities?
Okay, I'll speak from my own experience. First as a child and as an adult. before I became a teacher, I told people that knew that I did not want to be. I told people that I did not want to be a teacher. But if eventually I become a teacher, I'll be the teacher I, as a child, needed the most. That was the thing I had then. I said I'll be the teacher that I needed the most. And why did I say this? I think the most important thing when it comes to a child that is divergent is to be seen. I'm not saying give them visibility, see them. These are human beings, not just people in uniform. This is a real person with real emotion and with real issues. So I think the most important thing is just make them feel seen. Let them feel seen. Let them know.
Not feel ignored
at all. So it could be something as minute as changing their seat positions or asking their permission before you call them in front of the class to answer a question. Do you feel comfortable with this question? Do you feel comfortable standing in front of the class? Do you feel comfortable speaking to your friends? It could even be an apology after you offend them. I have a child, not had now, like I have a child, Samuel is in my class, is someone everybody complains about every time. But this boy reminds me of myself, and I know that it's a bit different. I don't think it's difficult for any teacher to know when a child is different. Different is not bad. It's just uniqueness. So I think it's very easy for you to see that, oh, this child is different. It could be something as small as maybe shaking their legs, shaking their hands in class. And everybody complains that you distract my class, you're a ball of energy, you're this, you're... But for me, I keep telling him, whenever he's not around, I tell him, where is Samuel? I ask everybody, where is Samuel? When he's around, I keep asking him questions because he enjoys it. He's different because he's very active, hyperactive. And I know that's the issue teachers have with him. But for the fact that I always ask after him, if he's in class, I speak to him directly. It makes him feel very good. And now Samuel is doing very fine. I mean, it went from writing the way that is not legible to being legible because it's trying to impress someone that sees him. So it's just about seeing them. You don't have to diagnose a child. You don't have to treat the child. You're no doctor. Just make them feel special. Make them feel like, I see you, you're here. I hear you. And it could even be a slight change to some of the activities. You can't control the scheme of work. You can't control the curriculum, but you can control your activities to suit every child in your class. Maybe not the totality of every child, but at least to manage every child in your class. You can bring in activities that is very diverse. So you know that you're feeding those that are more into the psychomotor side. You're feeding those that are more into the visual, the audio visual, and all that. So it is as small as that. You're not. Your job is not there to say, I think you have
diagnosed thing.
Yeah, you are dyslexic or something. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just make them feel sane. I think it's as important. If someone had made me feel sane, I'm pretty sure I won't be struggling with anxiety right now because everybody was always over me. No matter how many times I cry in class because I was always in my shell. I knew I was very brilliant as a child. But my own brilliance wasn't towards academics. I was very good. I could manage everything. I could balance. I come from a family of people that would probably memorize stuff and shake their heads in the exam and get everything. I mean, perfect score. But I wasn't like that. And I knew I wasn't like that, but I could manage it. But the difficulty I had in school was I was more creative with my mind than the academics, and nobody noticed that. And so I kept retreating into my shell. I was just going deeper and deeper until it became an issue. I mean, a big issue that was being taken around, trying to get a cure to whatever it is that they felt was wrong with me. So I see every child, and I think that's okay. Tweaking here and there, touching this and that, and just making them feel that I see you. You're my friend, we're in this class together, we're in this together, you're my partner in learning, and I'm ready to help you is enough, but not for you to diagnose a child or do too much.
All right, educators, you've heard that. It doesn't have to be a diagnostic thing every time. It might just be the little things that bring out the confidence in your children. Can I ask, what grade do you teach?
You call it grade. We call it, we call it as senior secretary, we don't use grade and but if I'm going to put grades, it's not 13 or something, but we call it SS1, SS2, SS3.
Okay,
so it's always
I'm
difficult.
so used to work with my international
but I think it's about 13
so
or 14.
We do all the grade and everything. Yes. Can I ask, who are some educators? And as you said, you never wanted to be a teacher, or you didn't want to be a teacher. So when you go into the profession, who are some educators that you have looked at and said, okay, I like this person, or I like what this person is doing, or I'm inspired
by this person.
By this person.
There'll be different people for different reasons. I'll start with my mother. My mother, she was too. I think I took so much from her. The empathy. Yes, I think that's from my mom. She actually loved what she did prior to her retirement. She enjoyed, and so by the time I started with my programs, I do not like going for grants. I don't enjoy grants. I think there's a lot of pressure on trying to, prove I did this, I did that. So I do my things naturally. So I learned so much from my mom how to manage that. And then she's always very supportive. I mean, giving me everything I need. Once I spend my salary on the students, she's always there for. I remember the day she actually retired, she faced me and said, I don't have money for you again. But it's a lie. Every time I go to meet my mom, she's always like, okay, another child, another issue, right? And she's always ready to help. So I think that's the first person I'll have to mention, my mother. And the next person would be our permanent secretary to the general, permanent secretary, Dr. Barrister Sholari. She is the definition of a teacher. She doesn't just teach by words. She's a total teacher, like everything you can think of. I don't think I can do half of what she's doing in the education sector, or she's retired as well too, but what she did while she was there, no, I don't think anybody can take her place in my life. And another person that actually inspired me is a man, Mr. Odusoya. He's not as active as, I don't know what happened. He's still doing beautifully well, but I learned so much from him. I think it was his dedication that actually helped me to do what I do right now. I saw a teacher, I was new at the job, and I saw a teacher that was going all the way, dedication 100%, attitude 100% with the students. It was about the student for him. It wasn't about the monetary, it wasn't about money for him. So I saw that, I saw myself in him, because you can't motivate me with money. I love money, I want to be rich, but if you want to get the best of the best from me, you just have to motivate me with a challenge. And I saw that in Mr. Odusoya, and it's doing very well for himself, but I want to see him pop up more again. And finally, if I can mention one other person, I will say my two friends, Okbeifa and Adeko. I love them, they're my teacher tribe. I call them my teacher tribe. I can be very, I don't want to use that word on myself again, but if things are too intense, I withdraw. But they push me out, they pull me out, they push me to the best, to get to my best, my peak. And if they don't see me online, what's going on, what's happening, I've learned so much from them. I'm still learning from them, and I don't joke with them. Adeko and Okbeifa.
All right, you heard that. It's always important to have people who inspire you, and also you should strive to be an inspiration, and also have a tribe. You can hear that the superstar, has a tribe. So with that, we'll go on a break and stay tuned.
Are you in governance?
You need public speaking.
Are you in business?
You need public speaking.
Are you a professional?
Speaking.
Now you too can learn how to overcome nervousness and speak with confidence before any audience at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
Attend our practical and training one-on-one coaching with West Africa's only certified speaking professional at any of our centers in Lagos and Abuja.
To register, call 0802 3032 066 or 0706 1606 078, or log on to our website schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence,
teaching the world to speak.
Join us on Teacher's World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome back to Teacher's World. I'm still here with the delectable Adeola Adefemi. Delectable and multiple award-winning Adeola. So it's good to be here again.
Thank you very much.
All right, so sometimes we say we have to model ourselves in a way that the children aspire to be like us. I mean, not many children aspire to be like teachers, but I can imagine that if I were a student in your class, I'd aspire to be like you. And your handiwork is already trickling down, it's cascading down towards the children who you teach. And I'm aware that you have children, or you have garnered about 150 awards and counting for the children you teach. I can imagine that not every child in a classroom is a supposed high flyer. How do you work with these children that inspire even those who think they're not book smart to be able to have the confidence to win?
Okay. Let me start from this. You said 150, of course, it's 150 and counting. I have to put it out there that in those 150 competitions won, over 90% were won by students that are labeled low performing. I mean, that they call repeaters. I mean, students that have repeated twice or more than, you know what I mean by repeating. I know it's not usually done in private schools, but in secondary, in public schools, yes. So these are the students that you would label as low performing. I love to work with kids like that because number one, it's challenging for me, and I believe there's beauty in every child. So in my case, when I talk about competitions, I want the child to know first it's about you. So whatever we do outside the classroom is about you. Whatever we do within the classroom is about you. And I think it's easy for me to get the best out of them because I make them feel special in one thing they can do. There's no child that doesn't know how to do one thing. There's always something they can do. It could be something like dancing. I can go looking for a competition that is about dancing for you to win, so that by the time you enjoy the success, it permeates into the other aspects I want you to win at or win in. So it's, for me, I want you to feel like you can do anything in that one thing you're good at.
You can actually be the best at something.
In that one thing. The moment you feel special in that one thing, it transcends into other things. And so when I see the students, it's always sometimes outside the classroom. I see them walking on the corridor. I see some of them on punishment. And I'm like, what happened? And they tell their story. I'm like, okay, fine. Do you want to work with me? And, you know, I've taught in areas that are underserved. And some of the students have never left their community. They don't even know how the world looks like. I've put students in my cars that don't even know how to open doors. Just the joy of knowing that they're going for a competition, they're always very interested. So it starts from there for me. I tell them, okay, fine, what is that one thing you like doing? Do you like drawing? Do you like, by the time I get one competition that you can succeed in, I feel most of the time, this give them the belief in self. I was telling someone recently, I said, the belief in self doesn't even start from self. It starts from, I want to appreciate this person that sees me. The first time my students succeed is always more like, I want to say thank you to you. You've spent so much time, energy. How can I say thank you to you? I'll do everything in my power to say thank you by winning this competition. And when they do that, they now find out that, okay, fine, if I can win this competition, I can also do well in other things. And that's where they become themselves and, you know, find themselves in themselves. So it's more like I am just like a channel for them to find themselves. So I don't believe in, when you say smartness, when people say intelligence, I believe we are different and different ways. We are very, very diverse, even in our thinking. So people tend to gear towards, you have to be academically inclined, or it has to be in the classroom. It has to be, the moment you can win at something different from the classroom, you can win in the classroom. If you can win in the classroom, you can win outside the classroom. So it's always very grounded. Like, it starts from that for me. And by the time they find their confidence, sometimes I have to sit on the floor with them and tell them that you can't just win at this. So this academics, that's why you're here. That's still going to call me a failure if you don't do so well in class. So I could sit on the floor with them. We'll start from, okay, pronounce this, say this. This students have issues. I mean, different issues outside the classroom. And it sometimes comes into the classroom with them. So it's not because you can't call them that, you can't say they're not smart. It's just that the issues outside the classroom is coming into the classroom with them. So they can't think, they can't function very well. So by the time we sit together and trying to find or prefer solutions together, they're ready to listen. It's not always very easy. I mean, the 150 took great determination. It took a lot away from me. I became so broke at a point. I mean, I had nothing on me. I had nothing because I was using everything I had to help the students. I wanted them to believe in so much in themselves. So if it had to do with money, I would get them. I would work down to their houses. I wanted to meet their parents. I wanted to meet their friends. I wanted to see what makes them tick, you know, as a child. So it took a lot away from me. But at the end of the day, it was more of, let me appreciate this person first. And since I'm appreciating this person and I'm doing so well, maybe I'm not that bad at the end of the day, and some of them just come out doing so well. And I say it anywhere in a day, I work better with students that you call challenging, because I think that's what makes us teachers at the end of the day.
I don't call them challenging.
People call them challenging.
Some people call them challenging.
Yes.
So that was a fantastic response to my question, and that also buttresses the teaching beyond the classroom as a teacher, when you invest yourself outside of the resources that has been provided for you. Now, as a multiple award winner myself, I can imagine that you have been in various spaces and various places with educators. I mean, we're talking Martina Teacher of the Year, Global Teacher Prize finalist. Nothing compares to that as an educator. So again, it's an honor to have you here. So I would like to ask you, what's the next big dream for you, and what do you see in the Nigerian system for education?
I could say, or I would want to say, probably cancel quality assurance, but that would be a joke. Well, most definitely, I'll still talk about the curriculum. For me, this time around, I want a table. And seated there should be, number one, the industry players. We need questions like, what do you want from graduates? What do you expect our graduates? What should they have? What skills, what knowledge should they have? I want them seated at a table. I want educators, lecturers, teachers in the classroom, still on the field, not just retired. People still relevant to the field, people that know what is obtained in the classroom. I want them on that table too, to be able to tell us, okay, this is not obtainable. When you're creating a scheme of work and you're putting 4 topics in 1 week for an English teacher to complete, I think that's not possible in any way. So I need them at that table too. I also need psychologists, children, psychologists at every level at a table to tell us what is okay for kids at every stage. I need special education teachers. It could be something small to be included in some of the activities placed in that scheme or placed in the curriculum. Everybody should be seated on that table, seated at that table to have these conversations before we create our own curriculum. Enough of